Have you ever noticed something that doesn't seem to make sense at first? A younger woman walks into a room filled with men closer to her age, yet somehow her attention drifts toward someone much older. Most people immediately assume they know why. They create simple explanations and move on. But what if the real answer has almost nothing to do with what people usually think? What if the attraction isn't about age at all, but about something much deeper that many men spend years building without even realizing it? If you've ever wondered whether your age automatically puts you at a disadvantage, you're not alone. Many men quietly carry that question with them. They look in the mirror and compare themselves to younger men who seem to have more energy, more attention, or more opportunities. The world constantly repeats the message that youth is everything. Over time, it's easy to start believing that story. But there is a hidden flaw in that way of thinking, and understanding it changes everything. Most people assume attraction begins with appearance and ends with appearance. That's the part almost everyone sees. But that's only part of the story. Few men realize this, yet many women experience attraction through emotion long before they ever explain it with words. When a woman spends time around a man, she is constantly noticing things that cannot be measured. She notices how he responds to pressure, how he handles uncertainty, and whether his presence creates tension or calm. Those signals often speak louder than physical appearance. Imagine two different conversations. In one, a man constantly tries to impress. He rushes to prove himself, fill every silence, and gain approval. In the other, a man listens carefully, speaks with purpose, and doesn't seem worried about how he is being judged. The difference is subtle yet powerful. What happens next is even more important. One interaction creates pressure, while the other creates comfort. And comfort is often the foundation upon which deeper attraction quietly begins to grow. If you're enjoying this video and want to understand female psychology, attraction, confidence, and self-mastery on a deeper level, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It helps us create more content like this. Now here's where things become interesting. The deeper reason is not that older men are perfect. They aren't. The reason some younger women feel drawn toward them is because life has often taught them lessons that create emotional steadiness, patience, and a stronger sense of self. Think about the people you've met throughout your life. Some enter a room and immediately demand attention. Others enter quietly, yet somehow everyone notices them anyway. That difference rarely comes from age alone. It comes from experience. A man who has faced setbacks, learned from mistakes, survived disappointments, and continued moving forward often develops a calm confidence that cannot be faked. We'll come back to that in a moment, because it explains something many people completely misunderstand about attraction. One of the strongest desires many women have is not excitement alone. Excitement can be found almost anywhere. What becomes rare is emotional security. This doesn't mean protection in the traditional sense. It means being around someone whose reactions are predictable, whose words match his actions, and whose confidence doesn't disappear when life becomes difficult. When a woman senses that kind of stability, she often feels free to relax and be herself. That emotional freedom creates a connection that is difficult to replace. This leads us to the part most people never talk about. A younger woman is not always asking herself whether a man is older. Sometimes she is unconsciously asking a completely different question. She is asking whether she feels more comfortable, more understood, and more accepted around him. She notices whether she can express her thoughts without being judged. She notices whether disagreements become battles or conversations. Over time, those experiences shape attraction in ways that outsiders rarely see or understand. The real surprise is that many older men underestimate the very qualities that make them attractive. They focus on what they think they have lost instead of recognizing what they have gained. Patience, emotional control, perspective, resilience, and self-awareness are not flashy qualities, but they are powerful ones. They are often built slowly through years of experience. When you stop measuring yourself by the standards of youth and start recognizing the value of maturity, your entire perspective begins to change. So perhaps the better question was never, why would a younger woman choose an older man? The deeper question is, what kind of presence makes another person feel safe, understood, and free to be themselves? That is where genuine attraction often begins. Age may catch someone's attention, but character is what keeps people connected. And once you understand that truth, you start seeing relationships through a completely different lens. In our next discussion, we'll explore the hidden emotional signals women notice instantly, even when they never say a word about them.